Hi guys, welcome back to the Finca.
Morning everyone.
We're Sharon and Andy, you know that.
Just morning.
We're currently restoring our 150-year-old Finca in southern Spain. We're just back from our solicitor this morning.
This is never a pleasant experience.
We have finally, after 2 years, picked up our deeds and we have our final cost, our final bill to pay, and that should be it then. So we have done a video similar to this in the past, but we've had a few things that have come across that we weren't expecting, and so we thought we would share with you today the final cost of buying our Finca for anyone that's thinking about doing something similar, just so that you don't get caught out.
Yes, absolutely. You know, if anyone, a lot of people are, looking to buy properties in Spain. This, of course, is only from our personal experience. It's not, certified legal advice or anything. No. But you can very, very easily get caught out. We know people that have in the past with things, but by doing the procedure that we've done, and we'll go through it all with you, we make sure that this place is absolutely, totally, 100% legal, and that we can live here and renovate it.
Yeah.
So, where do we start? We'll start at the beginning then, shall we? Yeah. First thing, obviously, in the house purchase process is finding somewhere to buy, which we did. We came and looked at this place, absolutely beautiful, fell in love with it. Sharon was a bit unsure about the work involved.
My goodness me, what we're taking on. We'll still be doing it when we're 80 kind of thing. But
if you're watching the videos, you'll see that we're taking it piece by piece and we're dealing with it slowly. We're just two people. We're doing it on our own. We're not getting any outside help at all. No. Just us. So we found the place.
So then, of course, you have to find a solicitor because you've got the legal side of things to take care of. We were very, very fortunate that our estate agent recommended this solicitor, who turned out to be absolutely brilliant.
We are more than happy to recommend if anyone's in the Alicante, Murcia region areas, if they need a solicitor.
Yeah. And so we went ahead and put in an offer on the premise that we could get permission to do what we wanted to do, what we needed to do to restore this home, because it was completely derelict.
Yeah, we put the offer in, and they want the house on the market for 39,995, was it? And that was reduced apparently from 49,995. And we offered €30,000 for it. The offer was accepted. Well, once the offer was accepted, then we had to pay a deposit. Yeah, and as Sharon said, we paid that deposit on the premise that we could get full permissions to do this up and live in it, for the rest of our lives, hopefully.
Yeah. We actually did come across a hurdle there, and thanks to our solicitor, she had told the estate agent to withhold that deposit, not to give it to the vendor, because it looked at one point that we weren't going to be able to get permission to do it.
Yeah, it got a bit rocky at one point. Yeah. We thought we weren't sure.
Again, can't reiterate more strongly that you'd really need a top solicitor on your side.
Yes, because if he'd have given the deposit to the vendor, we'd have lost it.
And we'd have lost it.
So, so that's the first thing. Find yourself a place. Make an offer on it, get your offer accepted,
get yourself a solicitor,
pay your necessary deposit, and that's when the fun starts.
Yeah.
So on the screen there now you can see a breakdown of our costs, our finalised costs from the solicitor. We'll run through each one briefly and explain what it means and why it's there. These are just the costs of buying the house. There are other costs associated if you want to restore a place, which we'll, talk about shortly.
Firstly, in order to get permission to do what we wanted to do, we had to employ an architect. Although Andy is an autonomous builder who was perfectly capable of drawing up his own plans and presenting them to the town hall, it wasn't allowed. We had to have one that was registered with the School of Architects and for the privilege pay €4,300.
Yeah, the actual plans get logged with the School of Architecture as well, via the local authority. You've got no choice in that. You can, I mean, other people have got varying permissions. They get permission every time they want to do something, but with this case, would there be there's no electric, no water, no sewage, nothing at all. We had
No
to
habitation certificate at all.
You know, we thought we could just do as other people have done,
Yeah.
but alas, no. So we had to have a full project. But on the plus side of that, we never have to apply for anything ever again. We've got the full project. We understand there's no time limit on it, so we can just crack on and do what we want.
Yeah.
Which brings us to, before we get down to the final cost that we just received today, there's a tax to pay on this project.
Yes. So we paid $4,300 for the architect, and then when I was back in the UK in December, Andy was slapped with a bill that he had 5 days to pay, which, as he says, is the tax on the project, which was how much?
€4,600.
Yeah.
That included a nearly €1,000 late payment charge. So another big warning. There's tax to pay on your project, or even if you can get a minor works license or a major works license. There's still tax to pay on them. But they never sent us the bill or informed us of this tax.
We didn't know anything about it.
But they managed to inform us of it when we
were fined and had late payment and 5 days to pay.
But we've mentioned that in another video as well. So basically, yeah, it cost just about €9,000 for the project and the tax on the project. But it's done. You know, it tastes a bit bitter, leaves a bitter taste in your mouth.
It's. I suppose what we're saying to you is, make sure that you've got some money in the bank, spare, liquid, because we have no income at the moment. We've given up our business, as you know, to do this place. This is our business now. But if we hadn't have had some cash in the bank to pay that, we'd have been in trouble.
And ask about the taxes. You know, we didn't even realise we had to pay them. You know, so if you're thinking of doing this, now you know you're going to have to pay taxes. Ask about them. Make sure you pay them when they do. Save yourself a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the final purchase costs, the top of the list there, they've done as a kindness to translate it into English, which we don't actually need. It says 2 notary purchases. Basically, what they are, the deeds you get for your property. You get a simple deed and a complicated deed, the full deed. Basically, the simple one is just a summary of what of the whole process, whereas a complicated deed is an in-depth, detailed thing, which is
this
pages and pages and pages and pages of it. And why they do you too kindly and charge you €106 for the simple ones, I don't know. So the next one down, the 2 tax purchases, there's about 20 different entries on the invoices. Why they've separated those two, I don't know. But that's for basically your tax you pay when you buy a property. Yeah, great, isn't it? Nearly €4,400 in total. And the tax I should add as well is not on what you pay for it, it's what they deem it to be worth.
Yes.
So another one, if you're getting something cheap, with inverted commas, your taxes may not be as cheap as you expect. No. A lot of people do a bit of cash under the table to avoid paying taxes. Don't do that, because they'll value it at whatever
they think anyway.
Anyway, so.
We paid $30,000 for ours. Our taxes are way over 10% at that cost, because
I think they valued it at 44,000, didn't they, in total?
Yeah.
So another one to watch out for. You know, don't be tempted to pay cash. Think yourself saving some money. All you're doing is saving them paying.
The vendor saves.
They don't get assessed.
No.
They save.
They save. You don't. Little warning there.
Unless it's you're dealing with a friend. Right, so the next one down, property registry purchase. This includes certifying the deeds. There's 2 entries again there. But basically it's always certifying your deeds, and then they get logged in a central office in Madrid, and then obviously we get a copy as well. But they're all, the deeds you can see, they're all stamped. Everything's stamped and on official headed paper. If you can see the official stamps at the top there.
So that's what we're paying for.
Yeah, stamp everything in Spain. Next one, town hall certificate cost. You've got to register with the town hall as well. That was only €15, thankfully. The licence obtaining procedures 2019 and then 2020. We're not exactly sure what this is and why there's one for each year.
I can only think that when we first went for our licence, we went to the office, to the solicitor, and saw Jose, and he did quite a bit of work trying to get Andy, because we, as I said earlier, Andy is an autonomo as a builder, and he was going to do his own plans, and Jose helped us with that. That was 2019.
Absolutely,
in 2020 we then employed the architect, and we actually got permission during COVID. It did us a favour. Early 2000, so yeah, I think that's what it is anyway. 2 separate charges because we had to do it twice.
Yeah. Next one, handling cost. Did we decide what that was?
I think that's probably the solicitors. We'll in a little while talk to you about the cadastre, and she's done a lot of work to sort that out for us because it was incorrect. So I think that's her.
When we bought the place, part of the house, in fact we'll go and have a look, we'll show you.
Yes, let's do that.
So here's the next warning actually. There's 2 property registers or land registers in Spain. One's a local one with your local authorities, I think your local town hall, and the other one is a cadastre, which is the official one basically, and these always differ for some, or very very often they'll differ. The main house there was on plot 45, and this bit, the old corral behind me with the famous flue, was in plot 46. So we had to get an engineer out, and that's what that cost is for, to establish where our boundary was, and it actually incorporated a little bit of 46, so we had to get that changed. It's another story we'll come to in a minute regarding taxis. But so we actually, so they took a bit off plot 46 and added it to ours. But yeah, so another thing to watch out for, make sure the cadastre and the other, I can't remember the name of it, town hall records match. So the cadastre alteration procedures was the bill for the engineer to come, which I think is very very reasonable at €50,
yes,
to be honest,
yeah.
to come and, you know, do a proper drawing of, well, that the problem, resolve the problem. The alteration procedures taxes is to change the entry on the cadastral itself, which is not too bad at €35. But now all the registers agree, and we know exactly to the millimetre pretty much. They do it using coordinates, which land is ours, and there's going to be we've got no future issues because everything says is singing from the same hymn sheet.
However, we've just had our IBI. IBI, don't know what it stands for. Basically, it's the property tax.
Impuesto Buen Inmuebles.
Yeah. So
property tax, council tax.
Yeah, like local council tax in the UK. I don't know what you pay in the
annual
States.
Property tax.
Yeah, annual property tax. Which we had 2 bills. One 45, plot 45, and one plot 46. And it was a lot of money, actually. Can't remember altogether what it was. 700 and something.
That's for 2 years, yeah, because again we had a fine in that because they never sent us a bill.
They never sent us a bill, so we were fined again.
Again, no, you've got to pay your annual property tax, and if you don't get a bill, go find your bill and pay it so you don't get another fine. Well, basically, yeah, what they done when they'd altered this part from plot 46, they'd put all of
plot 46, which is about 22,000 acres.
We'll show you how big that is.
In my name, which would have been lovely, but we knew it wasn't correct.
Let's go and have a look.
So, this is actually our boundary, where this stone is, and it curves round with a little bit of greenery. but they'd actually got me down, not the pair of us, Sandy and I owned the house, but they'd got me down as owning all of this land as far as the eye can see, which, as I said, would have been great, but wasn't correct. We were being charged tax on that, so that had to be sorted out as well. Again, thanks to our lovely solicitor, it's all sorted now. We didn't have to pay that bill. But these are the things, guys, that you really, really need to check out.
And it didn't cost us anything to get it corrected, because
no.
by some miracle, yeah, they made a mistake. Normally they expect us to pay for it, but they didn't.
No. So that's good.
The last on the list is the lawyer's fees, which, you know, thankfully were at €1,815, and that was a fixed cost, whatever, wasn't it, for everything done and dusted.
Yeah.
So absolutely fantastic. At least there's no surprises there. So yeah, as you were.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, to buy a €30,000 Finca. Bearing in mind that €8,568 does not include the project or the tax on the project.
€8,568 in costs and fees and taxes and things. Then the project was 4,300 on top of that, and the project taxes, well, I'll say more than the project, at 4,600. So it probably cost us about what, 47,500,
of which 30,000 was the property. So that's a lot of money, and again, you need to be prepared for that. It's worth every penny to us, because.
And as I said, we know we're absolutely legal. We know our boundary to the millimetre. You know, it's safe. No one can come along in whatever time and say, "Oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that."
No.
So yeah, so just do beware. You know, there are a lot of costs otherwise. Even if you bought a €200,000 house, your lawyer's fees would probably be the same, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But everything else, you pay 10% property tax in Murcia. I think it's 8% in Alicante, is it?
Yeah, so check out with your region, your local region authority.
I would imagine your registry costs and all the other things
pretty similar.
Are going to be pretty similar, but I wouldn't swear to that.
Yeah.
So we're not the authority on this.
No.
But yeah, but do your research, get a good solicitor, but be aware there are a lot of additional costs. I mean, it's not just Spain. I think France is a similar thing, and
it's a lot different to the UK though. I guess that's what we're trying to say to people thinking. There are a lot of people we know, friends in fact, thinking of coming over and buying something over here. In the UK you pay the estate agent's fees, you pay for the house obviously, and then depending on the value you may have to pay some tax, stamp duty we call it. But that's it.
It's a fixed percentage rate.
Yeah, that's it.
Just make it up.
And these just, you know, these bills just kept coming. So, but we're all paid now. Nothing else to pay.
Yeah, apart from our annual
Apart from the annual.
So yeah, imposto, basically, property tax, which is €303 a year.
Yes.
I think. We have friends in Alicante province, which is 10 kilometres away. They're only paying 80 for similar.
Yeah.
So, but again, you can check that out and just be aware of it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So I hope you found today's video useful, a bit different,
or interesting.
And if you have, and you've not already done so, please consider subscribing.
Yes, if you want to keep up with our progress during the full restoration of the place, please subscribe to the channel.
And click the little bell, get notifications.
It's free, it doesn't cost anything.
Free.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, thanks to our subscribers, and our welcome to our new subscribers. Thank you so much to all the people that supported the channel. We'll see you on Sunday.